Yes, it is indeed time for Lights Out episode 84. And before we even do anything, a very happy Thanksgiving to all of our loyal listeners out there. One thing we here at Lights Out are thankful for is you guys, the viewers, of course. Obviously, you'll notice Light is not here for today. A little under the weather.
We're not thankful for him.
Well, that's not true at all. We're very thankful for Light. We need Light.
I would have been more thankful if he won.
Fair, but he's a little under the weather, so he wasn't able to make it today. Obviously, travel from east to west can be kind of rough around a lot of people. Even you can probably hear it. My throat's a little hoarse right now. Cosmos is a little under the weather, so we're still just kind of pumping up and bringing you guys an episode we hope you will enjoy. But with that said, Cosmos, I know you said you watched all of day 2 of LACS. That's correct, right?
That is correct.
Before we dive into day 2, we've got to address something that happened in day 1, okay? Because as the title or the text on the thumb will say, Light finally beat SPARG0, okay? Finally beat him again. It's been a long time. However, there was not an easy path to get to that point. What are you talking about, Phil? What could you mean? Well, let me direct your attention to what is on the screen right now, okay? Is it on the screen? It is on the screen. Now, watch the ending of what I call Cosmos' absolute highway robbery. Like Gluto. This is day 1, like pools or whatever you want to call it. Light mounting a crazy comeback against Gluto. Potential reverse 3-0. And then tragedy would eventually strike. Okay? You see this? You're watching this? See this? You're watching this? Look at this. Look at this. Wait for the parry of a lifetime. All right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. Like the ending to the set, it kind of like, it did a couple of things. It impressed me and it pissed me off. Right?
Yeah. I remember what's his name, Mars, talking about it during day.
What's the name? Funny.
He was saying Light and Gluto were talking about it after the set, and apparently Gluto told him that waft is one of the things that like you don't want to parry, and that your window for punishing after is worse if you parry instead of just hard shielding it, which is like he was getting upset. I got upset at it too because it's like if you parry something that requires more skill than just shielding.
Exactly.
If you parry something, you should have more reward, obviously. So if you get punished for parrying something, for doing something that's the more skillful option, I feel like that's basically bad game design.
Man, did you just say Sakurai doesn't know what the he's doing?
Honestly, sometimes he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm going to be honest with it. Like, what the fuck was he thinking when he was making Steve? So there were definitely some things from day 1 that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Did you see Olimar in the beginning of the game? Like, and parrying was from the beginning of the game. Not everything got changed from the beginning of the game. Rob is still the way that he is. Pikachu is still the way that he is. Parrying is still the way that it is. So there were definitely some things. Like, I know that he was making this YouTube channel showing people how to make the game. He definitely didn't show his fault in making games. I can tell you that.
Oh my God. Do you believe to ensure quality control for the next Smash Bros. Game, we need to have a top player on site to do live testing at the moment?
You know what's funny is that
that's what I sounds like.
Pretty sure they had that for this game. They had like,
oh yeah, they did have like
Renai Abadongo or something for what's that, Abadongo or something. Yo, what's up? He looks sick too. Are we all sick?
I think we're all sick. Are we all sick? Are we all under the weather? Are we all just feeling like trash?
I'm snipply.
He sniffs, ma.
Yeah,
snipping.
We're all congested. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they had Renai 9B, and like they were, I don't know if Abadongo was, but there were some like top Japanese players that were like,
I remember
game testers, maybe like towards the end of the game.
You're right.
And the game still ended up the way that it is. Not that they did like a bad job or anything, but at some point,
let's keep it real. I think they decided they weren't going to compete in Ultimate, so they were like, how can we fuck with these guys a little bit? How can we make things a little more jank?
So fuck.
More jank than you might expect. But I mean, either
I
way,
mean, he was an Ice Climbers player in Brawl.
he was.
He did play Bayonetta in Smash 4. It's all coming together.
I tweak it a little bit. But you know what? We've been playing this game for what, 6 years? Still get hyped to those. So 6 years. Jesus Christ. I was
Right.
when this game came out, I was still in my 20s. What the hell happened?
Yeah, that's real shit. When this game came out, I was 20 exactly. I was
Hey.
26. You know what's crazy? The game anniversary is actually in like 2 weeks.
Maybe Sakurai should do like a special like release patch.
Release,
Like
shut down the internet,
I don't know about
shut down the online.
I don't know about shutting anything down, but
Make next game.
day one was fun for sure. And even I want to shout out to Cake Assault for winning Rivals 2, so for winning Melee. Show them their respect, give them their respect because it was awesome. But let me tell you something, guys. Day 2 Ultimate, that's where it started hitting. What do we even talk about first? I mean, I know I want to cover SPARG0 Light for sure, but Tweek Miya was a banger as well. Tweek Light was a banger as well. Like, where do we even begin?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we can start with some of the
How about
other
Tweek?
sets.
How about Tweek Miya?
Sure. I mean, yeah, that was a heartbreaker.
Yes,
This is a
perfect description for what unfolded. I'll even go to the game where the heartbreak did occur.
Yeah, Tweek Miya was for sure a heartbreaker, not just because he got reverse 3-0'd, but because he got reverse 3-stocked in the last game. So it's like he got reverse 3-0'd in 2 different ways, in every way possible. And that's depressing as a player. And that's depressing as a spectator to watch your, like, obviously it's probably like a lot of American players are watching and are watching them play against like one of their best players, most hyped players to watch play against, you know, a foreign Game & Watch player. If you're later and call him a foreign invader Game & Watch player, at some point you have to explain it exactly what it is. He's a Game & Watch player, he's foreign, and he's invading our country. And he is honestly invading our souls, taking Tweek out like that. So that's like, at some point I was like having a lot of faith for the tournament. And you know, one thing I'll say that this tournament made Waft's throne look a lot better, or the throne look a lot better.
You think this one did specifically? Because I thought this was like, I didn't think there was any like, there was no match that I watched. I was like, oh, this is boring, or it's going to be a slog. Like,
I think on paper it did because like whenever you were watching it, like when day 2 just started, you're like, yo, we can get a really good grand finals. We can get a really good top 4. We can get like light Gluto or light Miya in top 4, and then we can have SPARG0 and Tweek in winners finals, and then like at some point we're gonna have like any of those players play it out in top grand finals.
Yep.
And then you saw Tweek get reverse 3-0'd by Miya, so you're like, damn, we could have had Tweek in winners finals, like potentially playing against SPARG0, but now we're not really gonna have that. But so it's like, well, at least we can still have, you know, SPARG0 getting to grand finals and seeing who is gonna like try to, you know, take him out of his throne from, you know, he just won the throne. He won the last tournament, Dope Park on the ground, so we can see him in grand finals, like see if Light can get to him, Gluto can get to him, Tweek can get back to him. And then we see Gluto taking it over SPARG0. So you're like, I mean, yeah, that was a pretty good set. And then you realize that winners finals is going to be Wario against Game & Watch. And you're like, on paper, that just sounds disgusting. So you're like, yeah, we have some pretty good loser sets coming up. We got, you know, Tweaking, Light playing. We got SPARG0 Shattered playing. We have the winner of that, SPARG0 Light. And then you get Light and Gluto playing because obviously SPARG0 or Light beats SPARG0. We'll get to that later.
Yep.
But then it's like, you get Wario and Game & Watch 3 sets in this tournament. And I feel like the grand finals of the throne was incredible. I think it was great.
Kidding?
It was absolutely. I think the top 4, the top 5, I think the top 8 of the throne. You know, like I'll still give Candle pass. He was doing some really good shit at the throne. It was still Omar, but it was hype because he was like a voting beating players.
Candle.
But at the end of the day, like top 4 was still like very great at the throne. There were good sets in top 4 at this tournament, but I just personally, when I saw the potential of what could have been Tweek SPARG0 winners finals, and then potentially Light versus Tweek or SPARG0 grand finals turned into Wario Game & Watch winners finals grand finals, was a heartbreaker to me personally. And I feel like because I felt like that, I'm pretty sure there was at least a few people in chat that also felt that way too.
I feel that. I mean, that's fair. That's fair for sure. I would say that, I mean, just from me, the way I'm weird with Smash. Like, I like characters. I like Game & Watch. I like Rob. I like Min. So those characters never bother me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little bit of a weirdo.
Fucking commentator.
That is definitely commentator pill for sure, because I'm not going up against those sons of guns. But I don't know. I really enjoy those characters, or I don't mind those characters, I should say. But I understand like your POV. I would say like Don't Park on the Grass last week was more egregious the way Ken was playing.
Absolutely.
Shouts to Ken, still generational talent, but my God, brother, my God, you know what you were doing. So this was again refreshing. A lot of, I thought, just good matches in general. Glossed over a few things. You know, Gluto SPARG0 was really good for Gluto. Got a win on SPARG0. This last time they faced off, it was a 3-0 in SPARG0's favor. Shattuck and SPARG0 is actually really good too, because SPARG0 steals game 1 barely with fair, and then with Cloud at the end, and it's like, okay, screw it. Goes ages for the remainder of the set, gets past Shattuck.
And I do know that he doesn't like Cloud versus Horn, and he honestly
after Smash Factor, I don't think he does. Like when Shattuck made that crazy comeback, like I think he's kind of checked out a little bit of that matchup. I think Aegis served him pretty well. And then we had another kind of main event bout, which I will put on the screen for you guys. We're discussing this one. Tweek and Light, boy, I tell you, every time these two face off, it is a straight up classic type of deal. And I felt bad for Tweek, man, because Tweek should have been in winners finals. Like, he shouldn't. He did, admittedly, he kind of pulled what he did at Cirque 4, where he was up on Miya and then got reverse 30. That doesn't typically happen to a player of Tweek's caliber because he's just so damn good. But it did happen this time. It was unfortunate. So he had to fight Light, who was in losers as well, thanks to a loss to Old Boy. And yeah, I mean, it was a good set. It went game 5 as you would expect. But Light did end up taking it. Do you just think Light always has this thing where he's talking about, you know, my ego wants me to do this. My ego allows me to do that. Do you think, like, he takes it personal every time he plays Tweek? Because, like, he absolutely does not shy away from the fact that I despise losing to Tweek, despite being one of my good friends.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, they are very, very good friends. And honestly, they're like, I will also say, or I guess the way I would explain it is they are also partners in crime, because, you know, they want to like prove that USA can be the best region.
Damn right.
They always want to be the innovators. They always want to be the French players whenever, or the European players whenever they come, the Japanese players whenever they come, or the Mexican players whenever they come. But also with that partnership also comes the rivalry of, I want to prove that I am the best player in the US. And I know they know that there's other competition, like, you know, sometimes there's Zamba, there's always Shattuck. Shattuck was honestly like the best player in the US for a while.
Yep.
There was who else was there? There was sometimes there was the Buzz, who was very consistent too. But at the end of the day, I know, like, in both of their minds, they're like, we've both been top 10 for like the longest time. And like we've both been like the best in the US for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like people have come and go, and we've always been here. So like I want to prove that, like, I'm better than you, and I am going to be the best in the US for the longest amount of time. And I know that's what Light thinks, and I know that he takes it personally. So every time he loses to Tweek, he takes it personally. He actually studies and like wants to like find out how to beat Tweek, and then next time he'll make sure that like whenever he plays against Tweek, he uses that passion in order to beat him next time. And one thing I know about Light, whenever he plays against Tweek, before he plays Tweek, he always knows if he's gonna win or lose for some reason. And he always tells me like, yeah, I'm not feeling confident this time, and then he loses. Or yeah, I'm definitely gonna win this time, and then he actually wins. And it's always true to what he says, and I'll be completely honest with that. He always knows if he's going to beat Tweek, if Tweek is playing better than him, if Tweek has figured out something about Fox for that moment, or if he has figured out something about Diddy Kong for that moment. So I think him knowing that and him wanting to always beat Tweek and him being in the phase that he is right now, where he wants to actually be the best player, not just in the US, but in the world. I feel like that's going to give him the edge over Tweek for a very long time, because he's not just trying to beat Tweek. He's trying to like make sure that he's better than Tweek and better than everybody else.
Yeah, it's very well said. And honestly, again, not a slight against Tweek. That's our boy too, nothing but love. But it doesn't feels like it's like we're in like a wave right now where it's like Light definitely has his number, and has been consistently winning these last couple encounters, as shown right there on the screen, to the best in the US. So every time they get to battle it out,
Light is more consistent than Tweek right now.
Yeah.
But
he is.
Tweek has like won tournaments.
Oh yeah, Tweek's Light's champion.
Light hasn't won a major this season.
He's got Invitational, but he's got a couple second places too.
Oh yeah, you're right too, X, because like Invitational wasn't A tier.
It was A tier. It was A tier.
Yeah. So yeah, Tweek. Light hasn't won an S tier. Tweek has won an S tier. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, let's make moves Miami.
Yeah, so Tweek won an S tier, and like he's like done pretty well this season too. But he's also like gotten like 7th. I think there was a tournament. I think they both didn't do too well at SmashCon, but that was
Supernova. Yeah, I think Tweek got 9th and Light got 13th. So
yeah, Supernova. Sorry.
Yeah, there's definitely been some ups and downs for those two.
Yeah, but at the very least, like towards the later half of the season, Light has been killing it, where he's been getting kind of consistently top 3, top 4 at any tournament that he's been going to.
I would absolutely agree with that. Killing so much to the point where he finally got a victory over Spargo in what it feels like it's been for freaking ever. Those two matched up in loser semifinals, and I found it to be one of the most entertaining matches of the tournament. And it's always, Spargo's my boy, Light's my boy. So, for me, I get to just kind of watch and commentate like as just a true fan of both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I think I saw it in one of the last podcast's YouTube video comments. I saw someone said that Cosmos had a more recent Spargo victory than Light did, and I'm pretty sure he saw that comment and took it personally. I'm saying it now.
Brody was not having it. That is actually hilarious. Not like in a negative sense. Like Light is somebody who he'll find motivation anywhere.
Yeah,
and use it as fuel, and I think that's great. And this set was really cool. One stark difference I liked between this set and their set at Throne was Light just willing to not just play on one stage, being Smashville. I liked that we saw Town and City a lot here. Honestly, I think it might have only played on Town. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was
skipped it with Seb. That change in stage was one of the things that Light did say was the advice that Void gave him. And that a question he kind of asked Spargo, like, hey man, like honestly, do you think a stage change is something I need to do? And Spargo was honest. He was like, he didn't think some variety would hurt. And it certainly didn't here, because he actually ends up getting the W.
Hurt him.
It did. So what'd you think about Light versus Spargito?
I mean, I think it was a great set. That was one set that I only got to catch like the end of it. I caught game 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And especially in game 4, Light was really on it. Like you could see that he was really on it with his confirms. He was pressuring him anytime that he can. Even whenever like they were getting trades, he was still on top of him the entire time. And I feel like whenever you're playing a player like Spargo, who pressures you a lot, plays very fast. They both play very fast, but Spargo like plays consistently faster. Like I believe Spargo plays probably the most consistently. He's the most consistent, fastest player that I've ever seen play. Like Light is a very fast player.
Yeah.
Cola's a very fast player. But they all have their phases. I feel like Spargo plays very fast like the entire time. And even with his speed, he has very good defense in his speed because he's like taking a lot of information in like the entire time. So you have to like really, really pressure him to like force him to crack down, like break down. Or else he'll basically make you feel too pressured. And I feel like Light was doing that very well because even whenever like they were both getting trades, he was still on top of him the entire time. Like whenever he traded and they were both in like the top left blast zone, Light was like, this is my chance to still pressure him up here. So he went for the forward air that almost killed him off the top and took the set right there. And I feel like that's something that like Spargo honestly struggles with a little bit whenever he's like in a situation where he's being pressured when he doesn't feel like he should be pressured or it doesn't expect to be pressured.
Mhm.
That's when he starts to get a little bit nervous. And I feel like that's when that match was decided in Light's favor because I feel like after that he had basically all the momentum. So I feel like it was a very momentum-based set that was in Light's favor.
I like that. I think that's a really good descriptor too. And I don't know, like it's so interesting. If you, that's why I wish we had Light here. But again, I understand he's sick, so no shade or anything. That's cool. But like that's one thing is like he approached this tournament so differently because he was on comms like all the way up until he had to play, right? Like he was just big chilling with like me, Void, and Mars. It was like or a combination of G Pick too. Like he was just big chilling, and I almost felt like he played just so relaxed. It powered him through. It was kind of crazy to watch. I mean, it was by his standards against somebody like Spargo, pretty decisive when you win 3-1 over somebody who's had your number for quite a while now. That shit is crazy. So I'm curious to know if he's gonna like take that approach to like the next huge tournament he goes to. I know there's not too much left in the season that some people will probably find worth their time to go to. But nonetheless, very interesting approach to this and yielded some great results. As seen right there in the pop-off too. He was excited. Yeah. He was here there.
Yeah, he was that when he was shaking Spargo's hand, like, or getting ready to shake Spargo's hand, he just wanted to shake it as fast as possible so that he could pop off. But yeah, the thing about Light is that like whenever he is like at tournaments, obviously like the environment at a tournament versus an invitational is like completely different. It's more easier. It's much easier to be laxed or feel laxed at an invitational than at a like open bracket major tournament.
So true.
But the thing is, like, even at open bracket major tournaments, for some reason, he does feel like, obviously at the invitationals, he feels like he can get a lot of practice and he can get better and play with a lot of the top players because like he's the only top players there that are playing. Like there's no other people bothering him. So it's like, yeah, this situation is for us to grind, essentially. But at majors, he's basically like, yeah, I just want to play all the time. I need to play all the time. I need to like make sure I'm keeping up with everyone. And I feel like he is kind of stressing himself out, maybe I'll say, because, he's like basically playing all the time. And I do feel like if he does take a similar approach to like the approach that he takes at invitationals, he definitely can just, because at open bracket tournaments, you can just, sit in the crowd, chill, hang out with friends and talk about the matches and just like, you're not like, on comms, but you're still like chilling with friends, basically doing commentary about the matches. That's what a lot of people do. So I feel like he could take that approach. Yeah, exactly. Like breathe, just like relax, not play basically 24/7. And just, take that approach that you kind of have at the invitational, but at an open bracket tournament. Obviously, you're going to still have people coming up to you, asking you for pictures, asking you to play. You just have to basically like set your boundaries, say no sometimes, and just, say like, for this amount of time, I'm just going to relax until I have to play. Because playing all the time, especially at open bracket tournaments, definitely will wear you down.
Yeah, 100% will wear you down. And the cold hard truth about it too is, guys, like no matter how well you play, sometimes it doesn't matter. Our one last Light feature, Game 5 losers finals at LACS. Look at this lead that Light has amassed over Gluto. I mean, he is absolutely body bagging this French gym, right? I like Gluto, by the way. But then, as per usual, Wario does. Oh, that might have caused light right there. Like missing that down smash at the right side of the ledge after Nair. Oof, that was tough. I don't know if there was like a better way to order prediction, but
it was kind of greedy. He really just wanted to kill him there. Like he at that position, he usually doesn't go for that, or he goes for the forward smash, but he wanted to cover everything, even though he knew that he couldn't. Usually in that scenario, he'll just go for the reaction up smash. But I guess he just really wanted to end it there and just move on to the next set.
Well, either way, Gluto gets the win there. Pops off. The Frenchman takes out Light and advances to Grand Finals. And I know you were not a big fan of this Grand Finals.
I mean, I was surprised that Gluto took a set.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of what I was thinking. Because if you watch Winners Finals, guys, it was an absolute shellacking, like a straight mollywhopping. Was not particularly close at all. But Gluto, to his credit, boy, I'll tell you, this is why this guy is so revered and respected by his peers. He just gets shit done. Okay? Like, that's the best way to describe Gluto. Somebody who just gets shit done. All right, loses game number 1, you're kind of thinking like, all right, well, this one's, going to be a 30 and a handshake. But no. Not LACS Gluto. The Frenchman. The voice is too much?
No, it's honestly perfect.
Okay, Chris. Game & Watch versus Wario, though. It's kind of funny. So where this venue was actually where Scuffed World Tour was. And the first time Miya and Gluto ever fought was at Scuffed World Tour, 2 years ago at this point. And Gluto did defeat Miya 3-2 there. So it was kind of crazy that they ended up together here on these hallowed grounds. And Miya really got kind of greedy in a lot of these offstage situations. It kind of cost him a couple times the up B from Gluto inadvertently finishing off and kind of keeping him alive and dragging him through enough games where we actually did get a reset. Despite what you might think, it was kind of crazy that it actually went to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like set 2. I feel like set 2 is essentially how I thought set 1 was going to end up going. So I was pretty surprised that set 1 went the way that it did. But I feel like Gluto also just, like, if you saw the way that he beat Light and saw how he looked whenever he beat Light, he was honestly surprised too. So I feel like he had a lot of momentum going on after he beat Light. And, like, obviously, whenever you beat someone like that and you're playing Wario, you have a lot of momentum. You feel very, very good about it. And whenever you want to lose a set going into grand finals, that's the luxury that you get. You don't have to warm up. You feel warmed up. You're on fire, and, like, basically you're finding someone that's been waiting for a very long time, and they're cold essentially.
They are indeed. But Miya would heat up in the next set. I think he took it 3-1. I'm watching right here. I think it does end 3-1. So credits to Gluto. I mean, Gluto, he's had a little bit of a rocky season for sure, but he got some really clutch wins here at this B tier event to get himself second place. So
SPARG0 and Light.
Yeah, that's really, really solid. And I'll just put it on screen.
Light twice, actually.
Yep. 4 results right there. Miya, first place, Gluto second. Light third, only losing to Gluto, followed by SPARG0, Tweek, Shattuck, Mars, and Louis Money. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our LACS roundup. A lot of great matches for sure. If you got to watch it, man, I'm sure you were entertained the whole time. It was really fun doing commentary there. For Rivals as well. Like I said, I enjoyed Rivals. Shouts to Lud and Off Brand for putting that thing together.
Melee too.
Cosmo, yep. Amsa. Shouts to Amsa, who came back from the hotel when Miya made grand finals because he thought Miya would need a translator if he wins the event. Came back on his own volition. What a goat. What a homie.
Yeah, that was great, actually.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say Amsa must have got a message that he could hear and decided to take advantage of that. Would you agree with that, Cosmos?
Oh, I would agree with that. I can hear you loud and clear, bro.
I hear me loud and clear. You damn right you can. You know why you can hear me loud and clear? Because our friends at Turtle Beach, oh boy, let me tell you, they are back at it again with the support for the podcast. And guess what? We want to pass that support and those savings on to you. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Turtle Beach, the #1 brand in gaming headsets and accessories. Turtle Beach doesn't just have amazing headsets, which I'm wearing right now. They have every gaming accessory you could ever want, and they're all high quality at prices that don't break the bank, okay? We're gamers, we're broke. We need that affordability. From flight and racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach is the ultimate gaming cheat code. So get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today, because for a limited time only, head over to turtlebeach.com and use code LIGHTSOUT for 10% off your entire order. Not just an item, guys, your entire order. You can go nuts right there with that 10% discount. That's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code LIGHTSOUT. Don't need to thank us later. Just enjoy the gaming. Yeah.
10% off your entire order. It's crazy.
Nerve of these people to just give out such good deals. But I'll tell you what, we appreciate it, and we appreciate the support of the podcast. And speaking of the podcast, we kind of made some jokes last week, you might recall, about BigBoss and him going to Tartarus to compete. Well, it's only appropriate that exactly. It's only appropriate we show the results of that tournament. He went over there and won that thing. Like,
where does he go with that?
where
the boy question?
Exactly, bro. Where
both of him in Iceland or something, bro?
I'm saying the Big Boss World Tour, boy. This guy just finds a way. Chad gets second place there, followed by King and Jaka in the top 4. But this guy is hilarious, bro. Like, it really is a point now where I'll just go to, I think I'm just going to start going to random Start GG tournaments and seeing if I can find where Big Boss next adventure is going to land him, and just see if he just goes to a random ass continent and just decides, or country, and just decides to just dominate. This guy's hilarious to me.
I'm definitely gonna DM him, bro, because I how he's doing this. I need to figure out how he's getting all this information, how people are constantly flying him. How is he flying to Austria, bro? I need this information. And I still think it's really funny that it was Chad at first during the Smash World Tour times, where he was the world traveler.
Yep.
And now they're basically partnered up, and they're like, let's take on the world.
Let's take on the world, bro. This is the teamwork and camaraderie. They're getting the job done, and I like it.
But I think, I mean, it's great because they're also bringing exposure to all these tournaments that, you know, usually wouldn't get the light.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, would I know anything about Tartarus besides like mythology and fairy tale? No. But because Big Boss went to the event, I'm aware that this is now potentially a thing to keep an eye out for. Big Boss.
Yeah.
Doing more to promote the brands than Kawhi Leonard does for the Clippers. You're a bum, Kawhi. I just had to get that straight out there. Sorry, Paul. But while LACS was happening, there is one more tournament I do want to yap about and rap about because it was pretty sick. Japan has consistently shown us that anybody can win if you got a dream, bro. If you got a dream and talent, you can get it done. Raru took down this tournament, bro. Took it down over the likes of people like Yoshidora, Doramigi, Acola, Hurt. Like, just crazy to see this. I actually did a kind of a watching of this on my stream yesterday on Twitch because I was so curious how a lot of these matches unfolded, and I was very entertained for that stream. Getting to watch that back was really good. My boy Snow gets 9th. One of the crazier placings here was Asimo, who was like a top 4 seed, got 17th at this tournament, losing to Alice, who made a hell of a run and got top 8. Shouts to Alice, big Roy fan, so always nice to see. And then Navy, another Luigi player out there, so lost to a Luigi not named Raru. And then Aka Kikusu also got 17th. So there were some names that definitely...
You said it right, guys.
I got pretty close there. That definitely fell short. Tama P got 7th. I'd call him Tama Fraud. I'm still questioning that top 10 ranking, but nonetheless, does get 7th place. I don't know. Like, watching this back, it was on like 2 different streams, so it's hard to have like a cognitive recap to show you guys on screen, but I will at least put up the grand finals while we talk about it. This was a cool event. I mean, I know you're a big like Japan fan, Cosmos. Did you get a chance to watch any Ultcore? And even if you didn't, are you surprised at some of these results?
I mean, obviously, I'm surprised that Acola got 4th, right? He got 4th. Who did he lose to? Because I know he lost to Yoshidora. Who was the person?
He lost to Yoshidora, and he also lost to Doramigi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not surprising. I feel like those are. I mean, Yoshidora, like, he goes back and forth with Acola, at least in games.
Well, I mean, the last 2 times, I think hasn't Acola beat him? Because he beat him at Supernova, and then he just beat him here. Like, I feel like Yoshidora has kind of got his. I don't want to say number, but definitely won the last 2 exchanges from my record. But I could be missing a tournament. There's so many damn super majors and super majors in Japan. It's easy to miss something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the last times. I mean, that's very true. Actually, like they have a tournament. They spawn a tournament every other day, honestly.
Yeah.
But I feel like one of the last times they played, Yoshidora actually won.
Okay.
And at the very least, whenever they play, like, it's always a very close set. It's always like game 5 or something. So it always seems like it can go either way. Acola usually does pull it out in the end. But to see that, like, obviously Yoshidora has taken a set at some point, he can take sets from him. So I'm not surprised that he ended up winning. Doramigi, that's not surprising to me because that matchup seems like it's really annoying for Steve to really do anything. Steve is a overall slow character outside of Minecart. So the most you can do is build a wall that Min can break from across the stage, so it doesn't really do anything. And then you probably get escorted pretty easily from Min. So that's not surprising either. And obviously, Doramigi is a very, very good player. He's very young, and I feel like he's getting better the more he grows up too. So
yeah, Doramigi is kind of becoming what I want Snow to be. You know what I mean? Like, because I love Mario, and I just think Snow's awesome. He plays Aegis too, big Aegis fan as well. But Doramigi, I think, had like a really lackluster tournament like a couple weeks ago, and then comes back and gets second here, forced the grand finals reset against Raru as well, despite losing the first 2 games in the opener of grand finals. Told you guys I watched this tournament. So it was super sick to watch. It was kind of a shellacking in the second set for sure. I think Raru wins 3-1. But it was good. I mean, again, you look at these results, and it's, Acola definitely not in contention for rank 1 this season. Just not active enough, not having the wins we're accustomed to seeing.
I wonder what rank he'll be. He'll probably still be top 5.
I think he'll be top 5 for sure. I'm not worried about that. Brought out the Pyra Mithra at this event too, which I thought was pretty neat to watch. And then my boy Hurt, oh my god, poor Hurt. Acola honestly should have been in 5th, but
I saw the end of that set.
That Acola magic, bro. Poor Hurt. He couldn't clutch it out when he needed to, bro. Steve.
That's payback for what he had to do to Leo that one tournament.
Low key, yeah, that up tilt that made no sense,
bro. Exactly.
Made no sense on Hollow Bastion. I'm still not over that shit, but it is what it is. Jokibu got pretty close here with Falcon, 9th place. That was nice to see. Masha had a good placing as well, the Wolf player. I don't know. This was just a really cool tournament. Like I said, I went back and watched a lot of sets on my Twitch stream yesterday, and there was a lot of good matches here. So I know there's another Japanese tournament coming up this weekend. I believe it's Sumibato. I think a lot of good players will be there too. I don't think any Miya or Acola. So that does leave the door open a little bit for some other people. But shout out to Japan, man. I mean, they got people, it's not just Acola and Miya winning. We've seen Asimo win big tournaments. We've seen now Raru win big tournaments. So they can definitely.
Or Doramigi get close.
Yeah, Doramigi get close. They can definitely string together some results you might not expect. But yeah, I mean, it was just overall just a really chill, cool weekend for Smash, which we love to see going into the holidays. Again, not too many things left. You got Coinbox IRL, which will be interesting to watch. I've got some actual fun plans for watching that. Maybe try and do see if I can complete a jigsaw puzzle before the top 8 finishes. Look at friggin' Steve's and Sonics and Rap in there. That'll be fun. And then
Flat Fight.
Plat Fight is something that may or may not hit. Right now, I'm gonna keep his stack look like a flop for Ultimate. But it could change. You never know who's in those DMs fixing that together. Wouldn't mind seeing another big event for Ultimate pop off. So if you guys are interested in maybe getting something up to a decent ranking to maybe just secure a couple extra Lumi rank points for the season ender, Plat Fight might not be a bad choice. I don't know. I don't think Spargo's going to anything outside of Mexico for the rest of the season. He did tweet that he don't know why he has these bad, or by his standard, bad performances at B tier events. But he's just gonna be chilling in Mexico. Do a couple.
We have been too on. Coinbox IRL though. He was in that. He was invited to it. He used the graphic.
Right, but his tweet implied to me, he literally said he's only going to do some regionals in Mexico and he's just chilling. And he was like, I hope that's enough. So I don't know if he's still blowing the Coinbox.
After seeing that character roster, I want to blame him if he didn't want to go either. Did a literally double Sonic, double Pikachu.
It's rough.
Bowser Jr., King K. Rool, Olimar. So I wouldn't blame him if he didn't want to go to that tournament.
Yeah, that's fair. And I don't know like how his Randub experience went. I'm not gonna call out anybody. There is a gambling epidemic in this community, and its name is Randubs. And I'm not gonna say who, but seeing somebody lose like $700 in the span of 2 hours in Randubs, I was just shaking my head. Just what happened at LACS? Yeah, I was like,
oh my god.
I was like, when? Because at one point it was like, all right, we're even. Do we stop here? They didn't stop. They did not stop. And yeah, I don't. Randubs is crazy. Do you play Randubs?
I don't. I never have.
You're a smart guy.
Never have. Never will.
You're a smart guy. Randubs is a pandemic and a plight on this community. But I will say this: I am interested in perhaps having a tournament where I set up a stream. We got somebody as an observer, keeping track of the who's plus, who's minus, and you can Randubs your heart out for hours, and I'll farm it for content. But you're either gonna make money or lose money, but I'll guaranteed make money, and I like the sound of that. Just like I liked this episode. Guys, we know it was a shorter one. We know it was without light. Holidays are right around the corner for Thanksgiving. We're a little under the weather, but we did want to at least get you something out, get you a nice little recap of some of the events that took place over the weekend. So, as per usual, we hope you did enjoy this episode. Cosmos, my friend, love you, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, bro, out there in Mexico.
You too, bro. We actually celebrated Thanksgiving early, so you know what? We already did that.
What?
Because not everyone's going to be here for Thanksgiving. Some people are going to go back to the States.
Oh, that's called Friendsgiving, you, Jim.
All right, well, that's so if Thanksgiving, we're getting here. They don't celebrate Thanksgiving here.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Teach them something. Put a slice of cornbread in a taco.
Get that mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, man. All right, chat. That'll do it for us. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes, and adios.
Sayonara.
See you, niggas.